Next time on Southern Charm.
They did a scan of a spot on my kidney.
Cancer?
I mean, they don't know.
Everyone else talking. Meet Gaston. Form your opinion by meeting Gaston.
Nobody else knows him.
He has a short fuse. What happened to the goofball, self-deprecating Craig? Like, that guy's gone?
Did Patricia say why I wasn't invited?
Yeah, you don't make the effort.
This is my life. You can either swim or leave.
Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. Thank you. Now enjoy the show. Hey everybody, thanks for tuning in to another episode of RAERAEs Review with me and my homegirl Erin. We'll be discussing Southern Charm Season 10, Episode 4. Say hello, Erin. Hey everybody. Hey Erin.
Hello. Happy New Year, everyone. Hope 2025 brings you all kinds of abundance and blessings.
Yes. Wow, Southern Charm is back. I think we're just gonna run right through because it's not too many what do you call them holidays and whatnot for the next 15 weeks. I think we're pretty good until we got the King, but that's earlier in the week. I'm talking about something that's gonna make them go off. I can't imagine anything that would make them halt these premieres. So I think we're gonna go right through maybe 14 more episodes. That may do an 18 with a 2-part reunion. I don't know.
I don't either. I don't know what it's scheduled for. It would not surprise me if they did some random break in there and told us because it's raining this weekend or something. Like they have weird, not on this week. You know what I mean?
Girl.
So I'm preparing myself for something like that. But anyway, I hope we're moving right along. This is a bit of a filler episode, I felt like in general, but still moved the story.
Yeah, it was pretty okay, melancholy, nonchalant, nothing to write home about, like Aaron said, it was just another episode, child. Now, we are getting more introduced to the extras on the show that are now on the forefront. Like Rodrigo's getting a lot more camera time. We're getting more introduced to the new gay couple through Patricia. They're very successful men. I forget exactly what they do, but they're very successful in whatever they do.
One's a doctor, I think.
Really?
The black man is a doctor.
Okay, that's good. Speaking of Dr. Salley, the new girl, the one who knows Shep and Gaston intimately.
Yes.
Girl, if it ain't Carlos Kang, it's Southern Charm bringing in the old work, okay? Shout out to Dennis McKinley. Remember when he said my old work?
Right. Yeah. Well, I mean, it's Charleston is apparently known for this. You literally can't escape having, one of my best friends used to be a manager of a restaurant, and she said it's the same thing. You literally have to be comfortable with people you are friends with or work with, sleeping with people that you've slept with, because literally that's just what happens.
Well,
so
I didn't let Aaron.
no, this is not my feeling. I don't care if you're on a TV show. I don't need the level of community D that those, especially Shep and Austin.
AMP.
Right. So yeah. Anyway,
Girl.
but she's impressive. I think her career and what she's doing. And she's beautiful. So
yes. So no, she's a single woman. She is a surgical robotic specialist. Now, when I heard her say that she actually performs the surgeries in the operating room, I was shocked because now I have a teach experience in healthcare. And from what I know, again, I don't know everything, but from what I know and seen, only the surgeons, medical doctors, are performing those procedures on the patients. Now, again, I don't know exactly all the ins and outs and details, but she did say that she was, she sometimes is, in the operating room too. I don't know to what extent. Maybe there's a time factor. I don't know, but for her.
Do you think, I think that it might be more like the doctor gives the directions of what you do with the equipment, where, you know what I mean? Like, and maybe she inputs it into the machine. I don't know. Do you know what I mean? I mean, who knows? It just gave me, I got the feeling that she somehow like, was putting input in the robotics, but I don't know. Like you said, if that can't happen, then I don't know.
Well, to add to that, whenever I'm reading the information, nothing is saying that somebody else is in on it. It's only the surgeon saying what's going. So again, I don't know to what extent. Maybe she is putting it all together and
yeah,
putting A to A and B to B. Something
right? Like maybe he's saying, scratch A4. Hit, miss, you know what I mean? You sunk my battleship. I don't know.
But for minimum, I'm going to say it again, minimum $400K a year. Yes, ma'am. For all y'all who want to learn how to do some stuff, maybe look into surgical robotics. Just saying, because
100%. It's the way of the future, baby. It's the way of the future.
There's always a way into the medical or healthcare field and make you some money without having to go to school for up to 10 years. There's always a way. Just saying. And that could be, it's science, it's technology, somewhat engineering, and probably a little bit of math. That's all a part of the STEM situation. So get in while the getting is good, y'all, because what some people call Generation Beta is going to come through any minute and take all this and make it into a chip. So hurry up, y'all.
I wonder if Gaston was intimidated by Sally, which is partially why he, wasn't getting it together, because she's definitely more intimidating and has it more together than Taylor.
Oh, you mean when she mentioned how he told her to kick rocks?
Well, yeah, like she said that according to her, they dated for 3 months and they thought they were each other's person, and come to find out he was cheating on her all over the place. I don't know exactly what that means, but regardless of whether the label and title and whatever, you all were involved enough that it really hurt her to find out you were doing it around with other people. Like, you were not legit, you know what I mean? Like, this is a digression, but I honestly feel like guys want to somehow, like, because whenever they've decided to be the good boyfriend, because there's some reason they want to be, where they like trash the women that tell the truth. It's like, no, you need to own up to the fact that you probably weren't a good dude to her.
I'm about to take the auntie approach because, I am an auntie. Hey, aunties and unks, what it do? and this is me talking to my niece, meaning talking to Sally. Girl, listen, you only know that man 90 days. That is not enough to have ownership of nothing. Even certain jobs, the first 90 days, you can be dismissed without question. So let's just really put into perspective. Usually the girl catches feelings first, especially if y'all in y'all hot phase as young people. And if he acted that way then, why are you still pursuing anything with him now? Why is there any more conversation with this man, also knowing that he's dating someone in an actual, factual, monogamous relationship? It is easy to say. I'm gonna say this last thing. I'm gonna be quiet about it. It's easy to say he could have maybe wooed her or whatever the case may be, but 90 days is not long enough to have ownership over nobody. And I do not believe that he was claiming her the same way she was claiming him.
I don't think she's trying to claim him in any way now, like trying to take him from Taylor or hung up. I think she just wants to enter the group being able to say he was a dick to me. And have that be cool. I think what you're trying to encourage is that, like, you being the single one in the relationship, especially, like, it just looks like when you come in running your mouth about somebody else, it doesn't necessarily help your case, right? I'm just saying, like, that whole thing gave me some more perspective on, I don't necessarily think that Gaston's that great of a guy, but at the same time, everybody gets to choose when they want to act right in a relationship too, like, or whatever, you know what I mean? So he deserves to get a fair shot, and her coming in talking about it, whatever, it's messy, it's a show. I just, I don't know. I like her. I think I want to see what she gives, but so far I don't know. I believed her over Gaston or Taylor.
I like everybody, and everybody's on the same playing field, but it just seemed like girl, why are we discussing it? I know she's trying to make waves and be on the show, but in essence, something tells me she about to get molded. When he start coming around, some tells me she about to get molded to Aaron. Some tells me that her face is gonna be cracking on the ground. I could be wrong, but we're gonna find out at least episode 8. We should know something by episode 8. That's all I gotta say.
I think a get together where she's going to be around Gaston is 1 or 2 episodes away. I think, especially with the lead in that we saw, which I'm with you. I welcome it. Show me who's molded. I think we might have bets on opposite camps, but that's okay. That's okay. One of us will be.
Girl,
yeah.
Yes. But yeah, y'all, that's Sally. Sally, little Sally Walker. Anywho.
Well, I mean, she does branch out into other things, right? As we just discussed. Cool, because that leads right into Rodrigo and Taylor, because that's
right. But real quick, at the end of her segment, she prides herself as not needing a man. Girl, contradictory, just a little contradictory. That's all I gotta say. Rodrigo, like you said, okay, fill us in on Rodrigo and Taylor. Start us off.
Rodrigo was right. Taylor has horrible decor. All that beach house crap. So basic, bitch, home goods, white girl. I mean, jeez, like, yeah. I think that, to your point, Rodrigo speaking in the way that, on more of your point of view, like everybody needs to give your partner a fair shot, your boyfriend. I do think when he made the point, though, he needs to stop not coming around. He needs to do so, is true, because the more you avoid interacting in the group, the more whatever Sally says can leave the impression, So if you have nothing to hide, then come on, So we'll see.
Traveling salesman or something? Didn't he say he's traveling?
I think so. Yeah, but I think he straight up chose not to go to the dog party.
Oh.
Yeah, I remember Taylor. He chose not to go.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah. So, like I said, I don't know. My spidey senses are going off for me with this one. I'm not saying he's a bad dude. I'm just saying, like, men need to stop being like Austin and Shep and Gaston and like, like, you need to stop dating and being a dog, and then when like anybody shines the light on how you acted, you want to get like really mad. You know what I mean?
Gaston a dog. What'd he do?
We'll just wait and talk to Sally. Like, but more stuff will come out. Especially,
we can't take her side already. Come on now. We can't take her side.
I'm not taking a side yet. I'm just saying who I believe more, just based on I'm getting a vibe.
It's gonna be interesting, y'all. As you see, we disagree, but that's
Yep.
okay because can't nobody always agree. But look, we got bets. I'm betting on Gaston.
Yeah, it's okay. Yeah, listen, sometimes we gotta have these sorts of things, right? To keep it interesting.
Yes. Was that it about?
No,
about them?
Go ahead.
Was that it about Reggie? Reggie, child.
Yeah.
Reggie
Yeah.
and Tyler.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah, that's pretty much it with them. Okay, Craig and Shep and Austin, right? They have a cute little tea date. They want this tea, that tea. They're just too cute, girl.
Oh yeah. They went and worked out together.
Girl. What am I saying? Oh, so pretty much, okay. Craig is like, y'all need to come get in my pool. It's summertime, especially when Paige ain't here. And Craig wants some company. He's putting a lot into his career. He's putting a lot in just, trying to, and I can imagine, because I hear a lot of addicts really pouring into other things to stay focused. And I mean, is it cool to call him an addict when he addicted to some substance and stuff, right?
He's not called himself one, and I mean, I think it's up to everybody. You know what I mean? Like,
okay.
He has said that, so.
Okay. So whatever it is, he's pouring into more healthier things to do and habits and whatnot. So like, his business, of course, his relationships, romantic and non, and, just really being a lot more positive with everything and not drawing back and just trying to move forward in life. Right. And he mentions how he wanted to freeze his sperm.
Weirdo. I just wanted to circle back really quick about Craig and addict. He has, I think what's safe to say is he's absolutely admitted to dealing with substance abuse, to struggling with substance abuse. You know what I mean? Okay. So like, I would maybe, like, if we want to like reference it, his substance abuse issues, right? Or whatever.
Okay.
Because I think we could, if we're looking for where we could land on the bullseye, I think it's very clear, as they all have, right? Within that way. I think they also, as a lot of people do in the community, struggle with the stigma attached to some of that stuff,
Right.
But he's absolutely trying to, I mean, like we were saying, like, he's trying to live in a productive way that encourages his growth and not sliding back into potential substance abuse.
Right. I thought it was cute in a little bit, but the way he just described it, pretty much in case I get into some type of horrible accident, you hear about things where people wish they would have done something had they known, just hindsight's 2020 type of thing. I'm like, you really want to go to the extreme with it and do things just for that case, but then he mentioned how Paige is pretty much on the marriage track 3 to 4 years from now. He'll be 40 or 41 and she'll be his age now. So I think they're 3, 4, 5 years apart.
She's, I think, 31 or 32.
Okay. So she's not that far behind him, but he just figures it'll be a good idea. And it's strange because I hear a lot of women say this. I want to freeze my eggs because you never know, whoop-de-boo, yada, yada. I think he is the first guy I have heard on any reality television show that potentially wants to freeze his sperm just in case. I was shocked. I said, oh, what isn't this interesting?
It's a gimmick ass thing to do. Come on now. Like, look, they're like, oh, this would be a storyline. I'm telling you, that was cooked up. But it also makes where Paige and Craig are at now, and it makes the whole, I mean, the fact that he he really wants to be a dad. He wants to get married. He wants to do this,
Yeah.
these sorts of things. It's like, you don't even need to freeze your sperm. You just need to do something that makes you feel like closer towards accomplishing those goals. Because what I think what it is it boils down to deep down, I think Craig was nervous Paige was going to bolt at any point, you know, like there's just something about the relationship that didn't seem fully settled to me. And but you know what? Listen, watch him be in a situation where he needs that sperm. Watch it. Watch some shit go down where he's like, thank God I banked it. Maybe he gets, you know, God forbid, something happens to
Oh,
where,
no.
you know, so we
Fortune
can't,
teller.
as weird as it is, we can't fault him for having some insurance in the bank. You know?
I mean, I'm thinking Robert De Niro is 80 and he did not need to donate nothing
No.
but into the woman that he impregnated. We just know that men can actively reproduce and fertilize eggs well into their 80s. So that's the first thing I thought was like, boy, you got 50 years left to what? But like I said, he went to the extreme case scenario for him, and then he did it, y'all. If you haven't watched the episode, he actually went to the bank, made his deposit. Like, dang, okay.
He's gonna pay monthly for the storage of that stuff too. Okay.
Okay, just like Jessel said
yeah, I don't know how expensive
New
sperm
York.
is to keep frozen, but eggs, it sounds like it's not cheap.
Girl, that's a waste of money. Shoot, you could have paid that to me.
I just think Craig wants motion. I think, you know, Craig, yeah, this is a cry for help in Craig's relationship.
Something going on with that because it's a cry, definitely. And then that made Shep think about, well, both Shep and Austin. Austin was like, yeah, I want kids one day. And Shep was like, definitely with Sienna, definitely with her. I'm like, oh, dang, is she pregnant? What's going on?
I know, right?
Golly, does she know that? I mean, you know, they're like, really, does she know that? And Shep was like, well, you know, we've talked to, you know, of course, you know, she wants to have kids one day. But girl, Sienna, if you listen, watching, listen, girl, if y'all still together, run, because he's trying to get you knocked up, girl. He's trying to, girl, I don't know.
I mean, you let everybody know if you want. I mean, his inheritance is kind of antebellum money. I don't know if you want to get near it, but.
But then Austin had a real interesting, and he said it, you know, to both of them, telling Craig, well, you know, perhaps, you know, the reason for you wanting to freeze your eggs is this what Paige insisting on you doing? You know, insinuating that Paige is running Craig's life.
Yeah.
Austin, you molded. Because that's your crazy friend Craig decision to do that.
Austin and Shep have always liked feeling a little bit superior to Craig. Like, I think that they like Craig being the funny, humble, you know, like make fun of Craig guy along. I don't think they like the fact that Craig's quirks and his sewing and his ADHD and his like stuff that they like to feel better about him about is now making him a lot of money and a happy life and a beautiful home and that he's in a little power couple relationship right now and he's a darling of Bravo, you know. I think they're rolling their eyes because in their mind they still feel like Craig is that little Adderall addicted ranting after being up for 3 days pillow making, you know, like they're a little sidekick dude, and it's obvious that that's not who he is anymore, and they just don't respect that.
Yeah, and I agree. I couldn't agree with that more.
And it's like, so it's not Paige I think Paige personally, especially behind the scenes, did as much as she could with all of the challenges that he had, and I think he is the best version of himself because of her encouraging him to let go of the shit that isn't serving him, which Shep is still obviously not ready to do yet. And I don't know about Austin. You know, Austin, I guess, is still in his relationship with his girlfriend, and obviously doesn't seem to have any visible substance abuse issues. So I don't know.
Yeah, Austin is just going to do him until he wants to do something else.
Exactly.
He doesn't have any pressures, you
Nope.
know. It's real. See, when you have a certain amount of money,
Yep.
there's really and a certain lifestyle. You really don't have pressures of anything, you know, because you don't have to worry about paying for stuff because that's the gist of things. I have to work to pay bills. Well, they really don't. They just live their life, and that's how they pay their bills. So with
Yeah,
us,
they
he really and wait, didn't he have a beer thing?
he does. And him and Craig are invested in a restaurant in New York. And him and Craig are just opened a new restaurant in Charleston together. I think it's called
Wait,
By the Waves or something like that.
I thought Austin had this beer
He does. Trop Hop.
manufacturing thing that he was involved in.
Um, I wouldn't say manufacturing. He was partnered with a small brewery to come up with a brand, like a type of beer, a recipe
Mhm.
and a type of beer called Trop Hop, I believe.
Okay.
And he has been, I think, only produced small batches. I don't think he's done any kind of national sales with it. So it's not blown up by any means.
Like the Manzo's Blackwater.
Oh my god. Yeah, no. But like I said, he is invested in a restaurant in New York with Craig, and he just opened up
Interesting.
his and I don't know why they don't mention that on the show. I guess maybe they want to kind of maintain the idea that Austin is just a lazy playboy, which he seems like he kind of is, but I think it goes back to what you were saying. They've got to make over $500,000 a season now. They like the veterans, you know, and
Right.
that's enough money in Charleston, along with appearance fees and different things that, like you said, you don't have a lot of cares or worries or pressures.
Right. I mean, hell, Sally's doing 400K just on her job alone.
Yeah.
And perhaps they can't, maybe that Craig and Austin don't want to give any percentage to Bravo because of their
That
business
might be.
things. It's like, no, we good. You don't have to advertise. We good,
Yeah. That's
Our
probably.
advertising just fine.
Yeah. So I mean, the narrative that Austin does nothing is not entirely true, but I mean, at the same time, I still think I think Shep is the one that's a little bit more do nothing. We'll
Okay.
see if he gets it together with this, if he gets together being a spokesperson for this Costa Mesa thing, this experience he had. Costa Rica, excuse me, the ayahuasca
Ayahuasca? Yeah.
yeah, the ayahuasca experience. But anyway, no, it's just annoying because it's like they're not they're not nurturing Craig to be a better person. I feel like they want the like guy that they can feel better than back.
Yeah, always boils down to them overpowering somebody or wanting to feel like they have some type of control
But
over
I
him.
will say this.
It's kind of
I think they know Paige doesn't want to live there. I think they know it.
yeah. Paige said she didn't
So,
want to live there.
right? So, but like, but they're supposed to like figure that out by the time they have kids, anyway, I think they know. That's why I think there's a thing with Paige. I think ultimately they don't want Craig to be with someone that won't ultimately conform to what his dreams.
Mm-hmm.
And part of that is just being his friend. You know what I mean? So, but I don't think that they're doing it in the right way at all. Or I don't, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, they're not encouraging him They're more so making him feel bad that he's not the same Craig. Well, he can't be. He's a better version. And they have to encourage him. And I have yet to see or hear them encourage him.
Nope.
Just saying. Okay, well, enough of them. Are we done with them people? All right.
Yes.
What's her name? Patricia and Whitney, child, our favorite mother-son duo.
Oh boy, that's I love Patricia, but yeah. Favorite mother.
Yeah. Oh yeah, a good 83-year-old who's spry and can talk to you, you know, in all kind of way. You know, they can really give it to you good and have fun too. She seems like a fun lady, you know, not too stuck up with all her millions. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, but she's also incredibly cultured, incredibly educated. Like I feel like she is a very fun example of like a slice of culture. I do feel like she is the mascot for like Southern charm in that way.
Yes, because she is in the, sad to say, the last earliest generation that we have. So, you know, we were the hundreds is gone. Anybody born after 1925 is lucky. Well, I would probably say blessed, you know, just so I I don't want to offend nobody, but I'm just saying, if you're 100, kudos. And the next layer is Patricia's folks. I forgot what generation that is, but I'm glad that she's here. Like you said, she's cultured. She can give a different perspective and still hold on to that then and now. You know, she has history. She is history. I always talk, when I get a chance, I always like to talk to the older generation to hear what they have to say. Especially I used to talk to my great-grandmother. She died when I was 16, and to hear some things that went on, you know, she was born in 1905, so you can imagine, okay? You know, child, the things she's told me up until I was 16, I will never forget. And then, anyway, enough about my family. I love Patricia. I love the elderly. So I have a little bias there. But yeah, she is trying to get Whitney to adhere to all the things. So when she's, you know, kicked the bucket, as she calls it, not me, she calls it when she kicked the bucket. I'm just quoting her. She's being, you know, a little fun with it. So it's not so much of a morbid conversation, of course. Just letting him know this $15 million house needs to maintain. You better not sell it. It better stay in his family forever and ever. And she's giving him all well, not giving him, but she's reminding him, she has her legal pad, reminding him of all of the tasks and duties to maintain the property. And he better do it. She says he has more than enough money to take care of this house. It'll be a museum of sorts, you know what I'm saying? But my thing got too much stuff in it, lady. Come on. It's not a dry corner of, you can barely see the paint and the floor. It's like how much more stuff can go in this house? There's a pathway to walk through. It's almost a little hoardish, if you ask me. Just, you know, just a little something, you know, just saying. What do you think about that house?
I think it's time to, I mean, you could sell, I'm sure all of those knickknacks are expensive. That's the thing. You know what I mean? Like, you took it, I'm sure they got all go to some kind of Sotheby's, you know, auction or some crazy thing like that. I obviously, you know, none of that's my style, but no. But you know, like I said, I appreciate Patricia and her house for what it is.
Girl, can't no baby come in there at all.
Oh, well, look at Whitney. Whitney is as dried out as a raisin in the sun. That man is not gonna get married and have kids. Patricia will, you know what I mean? Like, literally, she will. If a newborn, even makes it into that house while she's there, it'll be a miracle.
Girl, I think in the other episode she said at this point she'll just settle for a cat because she don't see
no look at him
through before she leave this earth.
He literally looks like a dried out member of Duran Duran.
Oh no, don't insult Duran Duran now.
I know, but it's literally like plop him right on in there.
Girl,
that little haircut, looking too old and thin and drunk to even know. Sorry, Whitney, but
all I know is he better take care of that house because I think she's gonna haunt him if he don't.
I know.
So that was enough for them, child. They pretty much just going over assets, which is great. The house price $15 million. That's great. That's great out there in Charleston. Okay, next we see Leva. She is meeting up with JT to get the scoop. Like, what's going on? Why are you the most hated? What do we need to do to get you back in folks' good graces? Because I'm not cool with all this ousting of you. And then he brings up how he was roasted by Maston outside the coffee shop, pretty much broke his face all the way down. And he is adamant that he did not call Patricia a BITCH. And so far, there has been no cooperation from production, no cooperation from folks that was there when he apparently said it. And even Leva said, yeah, Craig has been known to, bend the truth. So everybody think Craig didn't tell some lies. So Craig ain't too credible. Your man ain't credible, child. Your man.
No, I know. Well, no, and he has. I know. Like, that's why, we were just talking about, like, Shep and Austin miss Craig because he's scapegoat Craig saying some wild shit sometimes, like, Craig's had this glow up, but it's like those of us that have watched cannot forget what a hot mess Craig can be. And that's to me how when I look at Southern Charm, I relate to the whole idea of like Craig is really on a rise up, but we cannot he's also doing his best to overcome a lot of challenges, and we've seen where he's come from, but I really do believe in kind of Craig's, like, I feel weird saying this up with reality stars because of how much they change our minds, right? But he seems like he's a genuinely good person, though. Like, I feel like there's something about Craig that comes through, like, he's doing his best. But I also, like everybody else, I have a very hard time thinking, show me the proof. Show me, I need the footage to believe that JT said it. I do. But the consensus period is that JT got himself in trouble with his mouth and then ran away. So I'm just curious.
Right.
But I don't know. I'm leaning toward it's a lie for now.
Yeah, everybody's like, this don't sound right. I don't know what's going on, but
or maybe Craig like genuinely thinks that's what he heard and he didn't, but that still doesn't make it okay. That's dangerous and it's not fair. If JT didn't say it, JT shouldn't be punished for it.
True.
Because Patricia thinking that he called her a B word is very offensive.
It really is.
So, that's, and if you can't substantiate that was said, that's kind of bad.
And even her own son don't believe Craig said it, of all people who would obviously have his mother's back and would protect her to the end. That's a big clue for everybody. Like, wait a minute. No.
Yeah.
Because I really don't think if Whitney believed he said it, he would defend Craig. He don't seem to be that type of dude. So, but we gonna find out for real. Because
Or not, or they're just going to carry this on and it'll be a battle of whatever. But, here we are. It's a mess. I do think it's nice that JT got some support from Leva.
Me too.
I think that it's nice that, he kind of got clued into the fact that, like, the way that you ran your mouth didn't reverb very well within the group upon coming back. Because honestly, I don't. Yeah, because honestly, like, it's like, JT, you needed to play this one a little tighter to the vest than you went right out the gate doing,
True.
But I like JT because I think he'll go to the next gathering and probably confront some folks directly.
I think he needs to confront Craig.
He does. 100.
I hear you, and not everybody believe. Just do it, get it over with. Hopefully, before you leave the show, and so we can at least put that to bed, because that's really some. It says something about your character that you're calling old women bitches.
Yeah, no, that's a point of contention that needs to be cleared up
for sure, because that's not cute. Like, what? She 83. No. He called her just because she didn't like his cane. Oh my God. Yeah. Thank you. And shout out to Leva. She is on the show Southern Hospitality. We don't review it. Sorry, I don't watch it, but I'm giving props to her because she has her show. Her restaurant is featured on Southern Hospitality, and they're in season 3. Congratulations, Leva. Good for you. Mm-hmm. Good for you. I hope you move on and go on to great seasons. Just keep going. Just get your check, girl. Get your check. All righty. Then we got Paige, and she's on the phone. Her and Craig call each other chicken. That's just too cute. And he's just trying to get some advice about, decorating. And she's like, I don't care what you do over there. But as far as that podcast room, stop doing stuff separately. Just get the room together. He wants to get the room. He wants to put his sewing stuff in there. She's like, well, just do half over here. She's just, trying to help him out over the phone and carrying on. And just trying to make time. And she's like giving him some good advice as far as him and Austin doing their podcast. That was the first I heard. And like the first I'm hearing about them having a business outside of being co-workers on this show. Do you think it was good advice that she's giving Craig about him and Austin?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think like Craig needs to turn that whole wall behind him into a craft thing, like so it looks like a really cute, like branded, like Craig, lean into your brand, like make it look like crafting with Craig back there. You know how like YouTubers have the backsplash of like all the shelves with different things in it. You know what I mean? He can have like his little craft wall. Mm-hmm. I do think he could easily have a thing for him and Austin in the corner. I do think for her to say you guys should be in person is true. I don't think that was wrong. I've tried to listen to their podcast. It's not good. So I'm just letting you know. It's boring. They don't really talk about anything. They're usually about like 35, 38 minutes long. Sorry, gentlemen. You are not, it's not good. We can tell that you have a contractual obligation to speak a certain amount of times a week, and that you don't prepare for those times ahead of time.
Well, I guess that's that on that. I need to pause. So after all that rigmarole with Craig's workroom, next we have Brett Masson and what's that boy name? Girl, Hudson. They out there golfing and having a family day, which is cute. I loved it. Apparently, what's the boy? Hudson know how to golf because his form look good to me. I don't know about you, but he was twisting and turning and looking like he know what he's doing. So, they had having a cute time, and then the hard conversation came. He went off to go practice his swing, and Madison brought up Brett's health and everything. And her concern with him was, don't hide things from me. Tell me at the time. But he's so used to letting her know what she needs to know, not really hiding it, but not worrying her over nothing. But I get what she's trying to say. I don't mind worrying with you. But he's such a gentleman. He doesn't want her. But that's your wife, man. That's your wife. So if she's telling you she wants to worry with you, let her. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of one of those things where like maybe part of him didn't want to deal with other people freaking out because he didn't want to even admit to himself he's afraid,
Yeah.
He mentioned that or Madison mentioned he's like one of like 8 kids or something. Like he's right in the middle. Like I just thought it was a really interesting moment between 2 newlyweds, right? Trying to work it out. And I totally, to your point, as his wife, she's like, we're a team, you got to share this news with me. And, like if we're emotional, it's okay, but prayers for him that all is well with him now.
Yeah, I got a little choked up because
yeah,
I'm like, oh, I can see that he's worried that he's gonna, not be alive.
Well, how awful is it to like meet someone that you love enough to be your husband? And it's obvious to me that Madison like got A-Rod to cheat, like, but she loves this man. It's obvious she's in love with her husband, and so I can only imagine how heartbreaking it is to get married and be like, I've finally found this amazing dude, and like the idea of him dying because kidney cancer is no joke.
Yeah, kidney and liver is really serious. And when, he said that the doctors knows a spot on his kidney and needed to biopsy, due to a normal test and all that, stuff. It's like you said, it's real serious. And when they notice something, it's usually something, it's just certain organs that are really vital to life. They, when things going wrong with that, especially the liver, I don't know if y'all know, but once you have any carcinoma of any kind in your liver, girl, it's really hard to come back from, and the pancreas too. From what I hear, those 2 organs are very not susceptible, but very sensitive to cancer. And it's really hard to come from that. Rarely do you come from that, but a blessed peace and blessings for him and his health, and that he is all well. That's pretty much it. And then we got Patricia's birthday party. The girls going wild. No, I'm just kidding. Very opposite of girls going wild. She had her homegirl Renvy, her ace boom that she been rolling with for I don't know how long. Renvy,
that's such an old lady Southern name, Renvy. Like that's just an old lady Southern name.
Like Biffy and all the chums who are the DARs of the South,
Tippy, Tipper,
Tippy,
like all that
Tipper,
kind of,
yes. Oh, wait, what's homegirl's name from NYC who was has that trust fund? Blonde. What's the housewife from NYC who's the older NYC girls? She was the youngest of the group. What's her name?
The youngest?
Yeah, she was hated on by Ramona a lot. She had the dude.
The one with the leg?
No, not her.
Tinsley.
Tinsley. That's another name.
Yeah.
Tinsley.
Yeah. All of that kind of waspy crap. Yeah. Renvy. What is that?
Oh Lord.
Is your name Revenge? Like, my goodness.
Girl, I'm sure it's Renvy. Something. Hidey tidy, floosy woosy. You know what I'm saying? So I can tell she was running them back and forth. She was the Shep of her time. I'm just saying. I can just tell. She probably did kind of hope Shep sat next to her, I think, because she kept looking his way. But anyway, I digress. Yeah, so it's Patricia birthday party. Her homegirl Rimpy came. Most of the cast was there. Not everybody. Whitney helped to bring everything together, and he had a funny toast with her to her birthday party, and he mentioned there was a time when he was in trouble of some sorts, but I think his dad was pretty much there, and she came late in all of her fur and realness and everything, and she stayed maybe 2 minutes. She said, okay, well, boys will be boys. I gotta go. I'm out. It is what I can see her doing that. I can see Remy waiting in the car for her. How long are you gonna be, girl? Because we we got some things.
Yeah.
Bloomingdale's closes at 4, so how long is it?
Well, I think he said that they had a fundraising event that they were on their way to.
Okay.
So yes.
Child, I can just imagine, but I'm glad that they had a good time for the most part. But then again, they bringing up Craig, throwing him under the bus, mainly Shep and Austin, just complaining about Craig's absence, but he wasn't invited. Like Patricia said, he's in town, but he's not here. Well, later we find out he wasn't invited. So, give the boys some grace. Again, they're not sticking up for him. They're just piling on from what other people are assuming and not really correcting them, especially on camera enough for them to put it in the show. I mean, it just seems like they want people to feel the same way they do about Craig. I could be wrong. How do you feel?
Well, it sounded to me like they genuinely didn't invite Craig because they thought he was going to be in Sonoma. Like that's really what it felt like. And then they took that and they stretched it a little bit. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Wait, hold on. Where is Sonoma? What is Sonoma? What's
Williams, Sonoma? It's Northern California.
And why would I think he would be in Sonoma?
Food and wine. He was doing a food and wine tour.
Okay. Go ahead.
Yeah, he was working. He did like a food and wine spot. I mean, he's really doing this home line brand, so the fact that everyone keeps giving him all this crap, I'm like, y'all are just jealous,
That's why Patricia
just jealous.
Yeah, that's why Patricia called him the Martha Stewart of Charleston.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll come together. Okay.
And yes, Craig has friends that are propping him up, that are running the business, that are doing all the things he could not do when he was living in his house and sewing, but he was in his house sewing. And that's the part that everybody is attracted to. And so there are people that are more than happy to be paid to run this business for Craig and use his popularity on Bravo to fuel sewing down south, So all these little haters about what he's doing, I think they're turning it, they took he was gone, turned it into, well, we haven't seen him lately, so we didn't invite him kind of thing, to just go with this storyline, because I think everybody just kind of, like I said, I think there's some jealousy of Craig from the guys.
And Madison was the only one who was defending Craig, and he got 2 of his homies sitting right there. That's a shame.
Yep.
Even Whitney joined in, well, I kind of missed the goofball Craig. Well, that's when he was on that stuff. So why praise the man for wanting to be a better man. What is wrong with these dudes? What is
substance abuse themselves? Whitney's a drunk, sitting there. I miss the Craig that was, whatever. Yeah, I bet you do. You're doddering old.
Allegedly, we're gonna say allegedly. Allegedly.
Well, you know what I mean. I think Craig reminds the 3 of them that they are aging out of the system and they need to take a look at their lives.
Self-reflection could be, making them feel a little, like you said, make them feel a little, way about themselves. So they want, they wish. Yeah, I can see that.
But devil's advocate, maybe Craig is being a little bit of, full of himself, and maybe all of them feel a little bit like, don't forget, you're the dude that used to, make
But you know
pillows in
what?
his house.
Maybe that's good for him because he's recognizing he's doing so much better in life, being clean and
Yeah.
sober, for the most part, not doing that. Maybe he has a drink every now and again, I think, but maybe that's good for him to keep building his self-esteem up and to let him know he's on the right track. So yeah, I will pat myself on the back. Look at this house I made. Look at all this money I'm making. I don't have no disgruntled employees trying to sue me for nothing. I don't have any lawsuits. I'm just saying he's a successful businessman. And
That's a beautiful home.
because of the changes he decided to do. So hell yeah, if you
Yeah.
want to fluff and puff, go ahead. Toot your horn. I wouldn't blame him, to be honest. I wouldn't blame him.
I'm glad Madison stuck up for him,
Me too. And speaking of Madison sticking up for him, I guess she was the plug to let Craig know that he was being talked about, because next we see Austin coming over to fill him in on the party, but at the same time, complaining about him not being around again. Let this man progress. Let the man progress, Shep and Austin.
Weak argument coming from Austin about you're not around. Like, it was a really weak argument because he's like, you don't want to go to lunch, and Craig looks at him, when's the last time you suggested we go to lunch? And so it was just very obvious to me, at least. It felt like Craig was like, Austin, you don't mean we don't hang out enough, because he's like, I see you at the gym, we do our podcast, and he's like, but that's work. But that's seeing and having a relationship with your friend. And like we were talking about this offline, Craig is trying to stay out of the bars because he's trying to not drink at all. Apparently, he's doing NA beers and things like that. Like, he's just really trying to. I think it sounds like maybe he might even get triggered a little bit or whatever. He's just trying to keep out of trouble and like head down and change his lifestyle. And it's very disheartening to get the feeling that Austin only wants him to go and do the things that like put his stability in jeopardy.
Exactly.
And I just
right.
It's the wrong road, everybody. Like, if you really do want to see Craig more and you want to dink all over him for not coming out, invite him to do things that have nothing to do with an alcoholic setting in any way, and then you have something to talk to me about.
And those 3 key elements Craig told Austin before Austin stormed out of his backyard was, I enjoy making money, I enjoy improving my health, and I enjoy fucking my girlfriend. If those 3 things ain't what adults are supposed to be doing, I'm just saying, if you had them, listen, if you had a mate, you are making your money, you healthy, and y'all getting it on. Again, what other things is there when you are an adult doing your thing as an adult? I'm just saying, I appreciate what Craig said. I'm Team Craig.
Yeah, and if I had a beautiful home with a beautiful backyard and a lovely pool and a state-of-the-art grill and all of these things, I would be like offended that people would not come over and hang out.
Outdoor kitchen under the shed.
Yeah, and it's like, Austin, you have a girlfriend. Why do you need Craig to go with you to a social area? Because you want attention from other people. Because getting attention from people you already know apparently isn't enough.
Attention.
Yeah.
A lot of people who think the bad thing about somebody who's doing something good with their life really wants attention. I can see that in different people along the entertainment spectrum. I ain't gonna name them because we ain't got time. But I just noticed and then the fact that they're getting attention based off of their cries of whatever that they're crying about, it's really about them getting attention.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what that's called through the psychological webs of, but yeah. How about encouraging people to, since you see them doing better in their life, encourage them. Shep and Austin, y'all hear me? I have a feeling this is getting to y'all. I have a feeling. But yeah, was that it for these folks? I think that was
I
it.
think so.
Well, that was Southern Charm, y'all. As you see, we may have difference of opinion. We may have the same opinion, but nonetheless, there will be opinions because this show is good. If you're not watching, please do. But if you just want to hear us talk about it, we don't mind. I don't think we mind at all. Any last words on the show, mamas?
Nope. I tune in to next week.
Yes, ma'am. And like I think we said earlier, Sally is going to delve in more deeper into why Gaston don't even want to see her, let alone talk to her. I can't wait. I can't wait because, child, to be honest, Taylor has some explaining to do because she was hating on both Sally and Sienna just because, and I think we know why. But anywho,
true.
I could be wrong. Yes, y'all. Thanks for tuning in. And before we go, please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. And also, please let us know where we can find you, Erin.
You can catch me on Instagram at psychic_ELB. If you'd like to get a psychic reading, new year, new you, please hit me up in the DMs. I do give listeners a friends and family discount. I also am occasionally on Alexander Rogers' YouTube channel. So check me out.
All right, y'all. Thanks again for tuning in, and we'll catch you next time. Bye. All day.